Hello, my name is Nikita Corey, and I'm a nursing student at UNCW. I'm in the RN to BSN program. I'm in Transcultural Nursing this semester, and I have here Jehova. I will be interviewing him today about his culture, and he identifies with the Hispanic culture. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I will be conducting this interview in my home. And the only people who will see this interview is myself and my instructors, and that's it. Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll get started. So first, if you could just tell me a little about yourself and whatever you want to tell me.
First of all, my name is Jehova, and I work at the sheriff department as a detention center. I've been there for 4 years. I have 20 boys that 2 years and a half, and I dedicate more of my life to my family.
Okay. Now, with this interview in this class, we're trying to see how best to take care of different cultures. So I'm gonna ask you some questions related to your culture and health.
Okay.
So, how do you prefer to be addressed? Do you prefer to be addressed by your last name or your first name or
You can go by last name, Santiago.
Santiago?
Yes, ma'am.
What language do you primarily speak?
Primarily speaking, it's a native language, which is called Mixteco, and second is Spanish, and third is English. But my primary language is dialect.
Is that the language you speak in your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Um, does your family speak English?
They speak a little bit, but they speak more Spanish, but a little bit English.
More Spanish than English. Do you use nonverbal communication when you talk, like hand gestures or eye contact?
I use both to make it easier for them.
You identify with the Hispanic culture. Is there another culture that you identify with? Because sometimes people identify with two different cultures.
When I mean Hispanic, it's like Hispanic is in general, but I'm going to be more specific. Hispanic coming from Mexico.
Okay, so
Yes.
Hispanic coming from Mexico.
Yes, because the word Hispanic, it could be Puerto Rico, it could be Colombia, it could be Spain, and the word is Hispanic. But then, but I'm original from Mexico.
Okay, where were you born?
I'm born in this state called Oaxaca
In Mexico.
in Mexico.
Okay, so you're Mexican.
Yes, I'm Mexican.
And when did you come over to the United States?
I came to the United States when I was 8 years old.
Okay. Have you lived in this same area since you moved here?
Yes, ma'am. I've always been here.
Okay. And you told me your occupation was you worked at the sheriff office and you've been there for 4 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you like working at the sheriff office?
It's a job, but there's something better that I'm working on it. But
Okay.
it's a job for now.
How does your culture experience grieving and the death and dying process? Is there a difference in how your culture experienced that?
In certain ways, yes, but it's not too big difference.
Okay, from how we experience over here in the United States.
Yes, yes.
Do men or women, how do men or women express modesty? Is there like a clothing preference, like women have to dress a certain way or men have to dress a certain way, or you don't have a...
It used to be back then. For example, back then our parents always told our sister they had to only skirts, and no pants because pants are made for men's, for guys to wear. But that's when we're in Mexico. But once you come to the United States, things are changing. Even though they, my parents try to be, keep the tradition or culture, but then little by little the culture was disappear, and next thing you know, my sister just dressed like America,
They're
like
more
a past.
Americanized
Yes.
since being over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you, with your culture, do y'all have restrictions such as far as birth control and tubes tied and hysterectomies?
No.
So the women are allowed in your culture to get their tubes tied if they would like to, or hysterectomy so they're not able to have any more children?
it's an option like in United States.
Okay.
Same thing.
So they have the option.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how does your culture view divorce? Do y'all pretty much try to stay together, or is it looked down upon, or?
Um, when it comes to marriage, our parents as ourselves, like myself, I love my wife, and twin boys, like I said, and we were taught as a, when you're little that you find woman who you're gonna stay with the rest of your life. So the first thing they ask is make sure it's the right one. Make sure they can repair us as many times, and the way our culture is that once you get married with a woman, you stay with her, the rest of your life, because if you separate, people will look down on you, people will talk about you, and things will come to a part. So that's where I come from. It's like 98 on 98% of the family, they stay together.
They stay together.
Yeah, you don't barely see that. And to me, when I came to the United States, I didn't understand what was stepmom, stepdaddy, stepbrother, half brother. I was like, what is that? Because I'm not used to it. It doesn't exist where I come from.
Because we have over here in the United States, it's 48%. So basically 50-50 divorce rate, whether they stay together or not. So that's a difference between your culture than what they practice over here. They don't stay together, as they don't try to work it out as your culture would.
That's right. And I just want to add a little bit in here about talking about marriage. In Mexico, when people get married, the women keep their own last name, the men keep their own last name. And it's something new to me when I came here, when I got married in the United States, because I was married in Mexico. It's traditional for respect for parents, her parents, especially God. Same thing, I come to the United States and I had to be married again, through the law here. They asked my wife, so now, you're gonna be such and such last, Then I told them, no, can she keep her own last name because we want to keep our tradition? And they get us that option. So it's something new to me that I learned.
Oh, yes, because over here, it's generally, and some people do opt to keep their own last name, but generally the woman takes on the man last name over here.
Yeah, so I just want to,
So your wife still has her parents, her maiden last name.
Everything original.
Whose last name do your children have?
For example, my last name is Jehova Santiago Ramirez. My wife, her name is Elizabeth Santiago Rojas. So the first last name, because my first name is Jehova. My Santiago come from my daddy. Ramirez come from my mom. Same thing, my wife, her first name is Elizabeth. Santiago come from her daddy, and Rojas coming from her mama. So Santiago, they always choose the first last name, not the second one. So Santiago, my first last name, I give it to my boys. And same thing we did with my wife. So my boy's name is Alan Santiago, and Exo Santiago.
Oh, okay.
They're twin boys.
That's interesting. That's something different. So
Yes.
I've learned something. And then also we like to talk about economics. Who is the principal primary wage earner in your family? And I know you work at the sheriff's office, so you're a wage earner. Now, does your wife work?
She's not working.
So she's a housewife?
Housewife.
Okay. And so do you have health benefits through the sheriff's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Insurance? Do you feel that when you go to the doctor with you or your family that you're treated any differently, or you don't feel any?
I don't feel any different because I came to United States since I was 8 years old, so it's kind of hard for me to compare if I spend most of my time here in Mexico. But my wife, she don't see too much different. The only difference she see, you get more help here than Mexico.
In Mexico.
Yes.
And I know, tell me a little bit about your educational background.
Education. After I graduated from high school, I went to a community college, got my associate degree. Then from there, I went to North Carolina Wesleyan College, got my bachelor degree of political science and criminal justice.
Was the college process hard for you?
It was a little bit hard because in English is my third language, and then at the same time, not only speaking, but you when you write it, sometimes the way you write, you speak it differently, or the way you speak, you write it differently. So, yeah, I had a little bit difficult time, but
You were able to make it.
I'll be able to make it.
How do you prefer to learn? Do you prefer listening or writing or demonstration? How do you prefer to learn?
Well, I prefer to learn the three ways because sometimes sometimes to me it's make it easier when somebody use an example, and then in the same time, if I always share to a lot of people, sometimes when you hear whatever I hear, sometimes I forget, but whatever I see, I will remember, and then if I practice, I will learn.
Yeah. So you a combination of all of them, and most people are a combination type learner, and so that's something we try to get when we do our assessments in the hospital. How you prefer to learn, so we can cater to your exact needs. In your culture, because some people believe this, but do your culture consider disease or illness as a punishment?
No,
No.
no, we don't consider that.
How do you express pain? Because I know some men won't let you know when they're hurting or in pain. How do you express pain? Would you tell me if you were hurting?
Just I will tell you about hurting, because if you in pain, and then you will not focus. It's 100% because something's gonna bother you. But when you not in pain and you're happy, you can transmit the energy. So to me, I think it's really important, to not only tell your wife or other person, if you have pain, but it's really important to let people know if you have pain.
In your household, in your family, how do you guys promote health? How do you stay healthy?
How we stay healthy? We really focus on avoid stuff like avoid sugar, avoid drink, and we drink 99% of water. And then same thing food. We stay out of fast food. We eat most healthy food like salads, stuff like that.
Okay, and since we're talking about foods, who prepares your meals?
My wife prepared the meals, and recently I started to prepare them because as a man have to value their wives, so it's a 50-50. That's how we do it at my house.
Does she also do the grocery shopping too?
She do the grocery shopping, but most of the time I do the grocery shopping because she said, "Go buy me this while I'm cooking." That's how we do it.
When do y'all typically eat? Do you eat together as a family? Do you sit at a table and eat?
This is the way. Go back again traditionally, the culture way. Before we eat, we always bring the kids first, and they eat first. When they finish, then the older people eat. But most of the time, the kids will be around us. So again, we eat together.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of have a certain time when we eat together, or if somebody say, "Can we eat?" and then we all get into agreements, and everybody eat that time.
Okay. Do y'all practice fasting in your
Fasting?
fasting? Like sometimes you go without food.
No, we don't do that.
Okay. Tell me, I know you talk a little bit about your wife and your children, but tell me a little about your family, because I believe someone else stays in your household. Tell
Yes,
me who
ma'am.
stays in your household and what makes up your immediate family.
Just I stay with my parents because they're into an age that they can't not work, and when the little money that they receive, for my daddy retirement is not enough. So I stay with my parents to help them take care of the bills, and whatever paperwork come inside, since they don't speak English, I read it to them, I translate to them, and I take care in that situation when it comes. So
How long have your parents been over here in the United States?
my daddy came to the United States when he was since he was 22 years old, and he's always been to the United States. And now he's 67 years old. And my mom came in 1990, And my mom, since 1990, she been in the United States. She was living in Florida for a year, or almost 2 years, and came to North Carolina. And since then, and we've been.
Now, with your culture, and I know you live with your parents because they're getting older and you're helping them. What are your views on nursing homes and the older people in your culture? Do y'all use those, or you typically try to keep from using those?
Well, we try to, if we had to go get help from them, we'd be more than happy to. But at the same time, we if we had to, we try to avoid not to use them because when you see or something, it's not it's a kind of not a good sign. So, but if we have to, yes, why not? That's what they're there for, to help us.
Would you put your parents in a nursing home?
In this situation, I haven't thought about if it gets to a point that I have to, I will. But if I can,
If you can, you want to keep them.
I will keep them,
home.
and I will take care of them like they took care of me when I was a baby.
Okay. What's your religion?
My parents, which is traditional, coming from Mexico, most of them are Catholic. And few months ago, I'm into a project that I loved, and through this project, we read a lot of books, and I've started to learn and a lot of things, and and I don't want to talk bad about Catholic, but I'm starting to discover a lot of things from the Bible, So I'm becoming more Christian now.
Okay. So you were raised Catholic, but you're starting to identify more with Christian beliefs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does your religion affect your decisions or your health values?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's the opposite. It's helping more people.
It's helping. Do you practice any healing rituals or anything like that?
No, ma'am. Only thing helps me is God.
Okay. So you pray often?
Just pray all the time.
That's about sums up our interview. Is there anything else you would like to add or share with the class that we may not know about your culture
Well,
that we haven't touched on?
This is a lot to talk about. That I just want to add, just one little thing. And I think when we talk about religion, to me that it could be a lot of religions out there. But never forget that we all, worship this only one God, and as long as you worship Him, He will guide you the right direction. And I always thank Him as soon as I wake up, before I go to sleep, because there are other places, other countries in the world. People did not wake up this morning. People did not eat. People did not drink water, and we have to thank God just for us to be in here, United States. It's a better place, a better opportunity, and that's why we always I always give God thanks. Every credit that I get, I always give it to God, because without Him, I would not be nobody.
Okay. Well, thank you. Well, that wraps up our interview, and I just want to take time out for you coming over here to my house and letting me interview you. I really appreciate it. And just to wrap up, ending our interview with Jehova, whose culture is Hispanic. I've learned a lot from you. I've learned some things that I didn't know when you talk about your children and how the last name works, because I didn't know how that worked when y'all came over here. And how, sometimes people can make assumptions about different cultures, but you've been here since you were a child, you're college educated, and you have a great career. So I just wanted to take time out to thank you for educating me and my class on your culture.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Pleasure of mine.
Thanks.